the seed of the idea came from Ong Keng San, who is our artistic director of TheatreWorks and the person who conceived and directed this particular production. So it was in the 2000 when he was visiting Cambodia. He was introduced to Nekru MTA, and he saw her teaching at the Royal University of Fine Arts, and he was introduced to her, and he was told her story about how she survived the Pol Pot regime, and that actually it was very much her art that kept her alive in the camps, where, as you could see from this evening's performance, she sang and danced for the other resident prisoners of the camp, as well as for the officials. So it was, and also because the fact that it is a very strong. It's a very strong story in terms of the human spirit, and how one can really overcome the difficulties. And of course, MTA is a very extraordinary performer, and her own personal history as an artist, where she was identified as a young girl, by the Queen Mother to be part of the royal troupe. I mean, and how she grew up and how she trained as an artist and as a dancer. I think that's very, very extraordinary. And so King San felt that it was important to tell the story. Of course, everyone knows the story about the Khmer Rouge. Books were written about it, articles were written about it, but there was never a play that was staged. But in this particular work, it was important that it was performed by the artists themselves, and they themselves tell the stories. We cannot imagine that this work is performed by actors playing the MTA character or playing the Priyap character, because I think that each time when they go on stage, they are reliving what they went through in the 70s, and actually reliving their stories and retelling their stories. And I think that is very relevant and significant to put their stories on stage, to remind us about how we shouldn't take our human liberties for granted. The sense many of us who have not encountered this kind of a history simply do not, take for granted our own freedom, our own liberties, and we don't realize that how difficult it is. So I think it's kind of a reminder of what had happened and what we should avoid and prevent from happening again. This kind of persecution, which was, to many of us, I'm sure, is very senseless. Why did he have to kill everybody? His own people, things like that.